Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's K-E-S-H-W-A-N-I, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for GMAT. We have been solving GMAT math problems out of this book here, GMAT Review, the official guide, 13th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 178. Page 178, today is our lesson number 209. The very first problem that you see on that page, number 100, number 182. Let's see what they tell us in the problem. We are told that we bought 60 cameras, and we are told that we sold for $250 each. We are also told that the price represents a 20% markup over cost. Alright. And the question simply is, here's the question. The question simply is, the profit that the guy is going to make, or loss, is what percent of total initial cost of 60 cameras. Profit or the loss is what percent of the total initial cost of the 60 cameras. Well, let's begin then. 20% markup is, we are told, 20% markup over the cost. So whatever his cost is, what he does is, whatever it costs him to buy the camera, he takes that amount and he tags on another 20% of that cost. 20% of anything is a fifth of the thing. So he takes the fifth of the cost and he adds on to it, and that represents the final price that he's selling for, which we are told is $250. $250. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what this gives us here. Let's see what the cost comes out to be. So if we were to take the common denominator, we'll end up with 5c plus c. So we'll end up with 6c over 5 equals to 250. We want to solve for c, so we multiply both sides by 5 over 6. And c equals to 250 times 5 over 6. This is where the things are going to get a little prickly. You have to pay attention. You have to slow down. 250 obviously does not divide evenly into it. We have to think about it, as I said. So here's what's going on. I want to write this in a bigger letter here. 250 divided by 6 is what we're trying to figure out. 24 has 4 sixes. Listen very carefully. That's only 24. The remaining 10, the remaining one is going to go and join this guy, and it's going to become 10. How many 6 does 10 have? 10 has 1 6. It's still going to have 4 left over, and that's 4/6. In other words, this is equal to 41 2/3, which we're going to round to 42. The reason I did not do that right away is because I didn't want to freak you out. 250 can be rounded to approximately 42 times 60. Why 42 times 60? Here's another way to look at it. It's 250 divided by 6. Okay, listen carefully. If you divide top and bottom by 2, this becomes 3 and this becomes 125. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 does not, the sum of the digits, the way we figure out if something is divisible by 3 or not is to add up the digits. 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 4 is 5. If the sum of the digits is not divisible by 3, then the number itself is not divisible by 3. 125 is not divisible by 3. But 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 5 is 8. Therefore, instead of 5, had it been 6, it would have been divisible by 3. And that's all we are doing. That's all we are doing here. We are approximating, we are pretending that 125 is actually 126. And now we can divide it by 3. How many 3's in a 12? 12 has 4 3's. How many 3's in a 6? 6 has 2 3's. And that's all. There is your $42. That's what we're doing here. So the cost represents So that's 250 over 6. Remember, this is not the whole thing. 250 over 6, we just found out, is approximately $42. And then we have times 5. Times 5. 240 times 5 is 200, and 2 times 5 is 10, so it's 210. This cost comes out to be about $210. Okay. The reason I take this much time here, I want to make sure that you understand this part. Of course, in an exam, all of these things that's going on here, you have to do it with speed and accuracy. Anyway, so that's the cost. Another way to actually satisfy yourself that this in fact is the right thinking is to take the cost that we are claiming that the cost is 210. His markup is 20%. What is 10% of 220? 10% of 220 is $21. The 10% would be another $21, and that adds up to 2, 5, and 2. So if his costs were in fact $210 exactly, and if he wanted to have exactly 20% markup, he should have been selling this thing for $252. He's selling it for $250, so we are approximating. His markup, his cost is approximately $210 because that gives us the final price, something very close to what we're selling it for. We're selling it for $250. This comes out to be $252. Nothing to freak out about, okay? Well, let's get going. Enough of the talk, let's get going. The hard part is done. So, his cost is $210. We just found here $210. He's selling it for $250. In other words, this implies that he's making $40 profit. $40 profit per camera. How many cameras did he sell? Well, you have to read the questions properly. He bought 60 cameras, but the question goes on to tell us that he was unable to sell 6 of them. So his profit is $40 times 54, because he was unable to sell 6 of them. Instead of doing 40 times 54, I changed my mind. I want to do 54 times 40. I find it easier, so there is a 0. 4 times 4 is 6. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 6 are 16. 6 carry 1. 20 and 21. There you go. Is that his total profit? Is that his total profit? The answer is no. You have to read the question very carefully. This is a very convoluted problem here. They go on to tell us that the 6 cameras that he was unable to sell, he sent them back. He sent them back to the manufacturers, and manufacturers gave him refund. But how much refund did he get? He only got 50% of what he paid. Oh, what did he pay for each camera? He paid $210 for each camera. Oh, what did he get back when he sent them back? He only got 50%. So he got back 50% as a refund. 50% of 210 is 105, which means on every single camera that he initially bought for 210, and when he found out that he can't sell it when he returned it, he only got a credit for $105, which means he took a loss of about $100 per camera. Technically it's $105, but I'm not going to be nitty-gritty. He took a loss of $100 on 6 cameras that he was unable to sell. We need to subtract that $600 from here. We need to subtract that $600 from here. And that 600 represents, this 600 represents the loss on 6 unsold cameras. So this was his profit here. This was his gross profit on the 54 cameras, but this is his final profit. So it's 60 and 15. There you go. This is his net or final profit. Net or final profit after everything is said and done. Okay, we're getting there. The question simply is, this amount that we arrived at, 1560, is what percentage of what? You have to read very carefully. They are not looking for this profit as a percentage of his actual cost of the camera, which is $210 that he paid per camera, times 60 minus 600, because he did get $600 back at the end. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking for his total cost of 60 camera, and they put an adjective here, they qualify it, They're looking for his initial cost. What was his initial cost of 60 cameras? Well, that's very straightforward. He paid $210 per camera and he bought 60 of them. The fact that the 6 that he was unable to sell, when he sent them back, he got $100 credit per camera, it doesn't matter here because they're looking for this as a percentage of his total initial cost. So let's do it out. 6 times 6 is 6. 6 2s are 12, and we get 2 zeros here. So his cost is $12,600. Question simply is now, what is this amount as a percentage of 12,600? Let's see what we can do. Let's do it on the top. So 1560 is what percent of 12,600? Let's find out, shall we? Let's see what we can do here. Now, as I always remind you, when you're taking a standardized exam, I have a great deal of tendency to break into sermons, you understand? When one is taking a standardized exam, in a standardized exam, there are 2 bits of information that are equally important. What is important here is what is given in the problem, but what is given in the problem is just one part of the story, it's only half the story. How the answers are laid out, how the answers are presented to you is equally important. It is equally important because how much work I'm going to put into it, how much time I'm going to invest into the damn thing, depends on how the answers are being phrased. Do you understand? So let's look at the answer choices. A, B, C, D, and E. The very first thing we notice is that we are making a profit. This is actually a profit. We just found out. We did the calculation and we found out that the guy bought it for $210, he was selling it for $250, he made a $40 profit on 54 cameras. $40 times 54, we found the amount, and from that we subtracted $600 that he lost on the 6 camera that he had to send back, but still, at the end, he still made a profit. He made a profit of $1,560. What answer choices can we cross out right away? We can cross out A and B, because A and B claims that he made a loss. He certainly did not make a loss. What else can we cross out? Let's take a look here. C says 7%. This here, what's here? 12,600. What is 10% of 12,600? 10% of 12,600, how do you find 10% of any amount? 12,600, how do you find 10%? To find 10% of something, you take the amount and you knock out a 0. This is 10%. His profit is 1,500. Obviously he made a profit of more than 10%. I don't know what that it is, but it is more than 10%. And C says 7%. It certainly isn't 7%. 7% is too low. And what was wrong with A and B? A and B were too negative. They were too negative. I'm being silly, you understand? He's not making a loss. The answer is either D or E. Instead of doing this damn work here, doing the work here to figure out exactly what is that as a percentage of 12,600, which is not something very pleasant to do, let's try something else. Let's ask ourselves, what is 15% of 12,600? Let's put it here, 12,600. Well, 10% would be a tenth of amount. We drop the 0 and we get 1,260. Another 5% would be half of this amount. Half of 1260 would be 630. Again, listen carefully. 630. 630 plus 1,260. 1,200 plus 600 is 1,800. Plus we got another 19, another 90, 60, and a 30. This is approximately $1,900. Did he make $1,900 profit? No, he did not make a $1,900 profit. He made only $1,560. He certainly did not make a 15% profit. So the answer is D. 15% is too high. It is too high. So we knocked out 4 answer choices out of 5 because two of them were too negative, one was too low, and another one is too high. You cannot ask for more than that. And that's how we take care of it. Do not put in the time to actually do the calculation. If you look at the explanation and the solution that they give you in the back of the book where the answer choices are, oh my God, it can give you migraine just to look at the bloody thing. Forget about doing it out actually. Besides, you don't have the time. You only have a couple of minutes. Anyway, this is it. Cross out A and B because they are negative. Cross out C because it's too low. Cross out E because it's too high. The answer is D. Okay? And if, of course, for your peace of mind, if you want to verify that, just for your peace of mind, you could actually pick up the calculator and do it for yourself, and you will see that it comes actually very close to 13%. This amount comes actually very close to 13%. This 1560 is very close to 13% of this amount. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.